magical sparks, welcome back to my channel. It's Sparkle, and today we have something a little bit different. So I got some blind boxes the other day, and by the other day I mean literally months ago, and today we are going to be drawing them. So let's change the background and get straight to it. Now, the very first time that I heard about Pop Mart and blind boxes had to be last year when I went there for the first time. And at that point, I didn't really know much about it, so I managed to walk in and out of the store without buying a single thing. But this year, I went for the second time and I wanted to buy some things so that I could draw them. And the very first thing I picked up was this red SkullPanda blind box. This is the same one that my friend got as well, and she recommended it to me, and I think it's kind of cute. It's like this little figurine that has like a really glossy porcelain finish, and I would love to get doodling, but let's wait and see what I get. So we'll be unboxing and drawing 2 blind boxes in today's video. Aside from these, I picked up 2 more the other day from Miniso, and they are so adorable. They're both Disney themed ones, and I would love to make a video on those as well. So if you guys like this one, I might think about making the other one. But for now, let's see what's inside our first blind box. Guys, when I held this in my hands, I was so shocked because look at how cute this is. It's so shiny and adorable. Like, what? I was absolutely speechless. That much I can say. I mean, this is just so cute. Like, you know when you see something so cute and you can't speak? That was exactly where I was at. So the one that I got was Recall the Past, and although I didn't know it at that point in time, this guy actually came with 2 little animal friends who were still inside the box. Inside the box that I was about to throw away, but thankfully I didn't. Not until I realized that there was more things inside. So with my little figurine, we got 2 little frogs. I love the finish on them. It looks very like antique and almost stone-like, which is so cool. They also have these little like winding keys on their back. Initially I thought they were wings, but upon closer observation, I think they're like winding keys to like recall the past, which is so cool. I love the symbolism. Now, I could go on and on about how much I love the first blind box, but before I do that, let's go ahead and open up our second blind box. So this one is a Sanrio Hello Kitty 50th anniversary blind box. And there are specifically 2 collectibles that I have my eye on, which is this one and also that one. I want these ones because they're pink and they're slightly bigger than the other ones, so I think they'll look really nice on my desk. I'm really hoping for the puppy, and based on the weight of the box and how it sounds, I feel like the puppy is what's inside. Pumperin, I think. So we are going to open it up and see if the world is going to grant my wish today. Did you guys just see what I saw? This is kind of random, but as I was unboxing this blind box, I was actually listening to music. I had my headphones on, so I had no idea how crazy I sounded until I watched this video back. And yeah, I did sound crazy, but I think that reaction was totally appropriate because I got the exact collectible that I wanted. It was a dream come true, and I love it. I love the way it looks. A, I love dogs. B, the colors are so cute. And see, look, it comes with a little present box. Like, how perfect is that? And now it is time to assemble all the components, which is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. Here is our final puppy. He looks so adorable. I love the way the colors look, and I love the contrast between the two. Like the first one is very neutral and calm, the second one is really bright and colorful, and together they just look so adorable. Like I love them both. Very, very happy with the results. Now, considering that these are my first ever blind boxes, and this was my first ever blind box unboxing experience, I'd say that went really well. I love both the collectibles, I think they're adorable, and it was super fun to open them up and see what's inside. Of course, after I opened them up, I was still super excited, so before I got to drawing them, I took a couple of minutes to take some cute photographs, and I love the way they look in these photos. I tried different angles, and at the end, these are what I used as references for today's drawings as well. Anyways, with that, let's segue straight to the drawing part of today's video. Grabbing out my bleed-proof sketchbook, we are going to be working on 2 separate drawings, one for each of the blind boxes. Now, as always, we are going to be shaking things up as well. So initially, I was going to go ahead and draw the characters in my style to see how they look. But then I wanted to challenge myself and try something different. So instead, we're going to go ahead and draw the characters a little more stylistically. So for the first figurine, the thing that I love most about it is how soft and glossy it is. So I'm going to try and capture that today with my art, which is not something that I remember having tried in the past. We're going to try and make him look super shiny, and also I'm going to go for a soft line art look, so nothing too prominent or dark. And it's going to be a bit of a trial and error situation, but we'll get through it together. So for the pose of the character, I used a photo that I took earlier as my reference image, which definitely helped because I could clearly see where the shadows would be and where all the shiny parts would be. And I just kind of marked out the basic positioning on my paper, and then I went in to refine the sketch and make it look really nice and finalized. But one thing that I did slightly struggle with was just being satisfied with the way that the nose and the mouth was looking, because I erased it and redid it so many times. Like the number of times I had to do it was actually crazy. And then I realized I was just being way too self-critical and overly critical of how this drawing looks. But at the end of the day, the nose and the mouth are just a tiny detail, and what matters is how I feel when I make this drawing. And I want to feel happy, excited, and I want to feel like I'm having fun. So in order for me to do that, I have to stop stressing about the nose and the mouth. And once I figured that out, I stopped stressing. And that made the process so much smoother and so much more relaxing. You know, a really cool thing that I've been thinking about recently is how we need to be in control of our emotions. I feel like that's just so obvious, and it's something that when you say it, people are like, yeah, I know. But sometimes we don't. Like, sometimes things happen and we let situations and emotions influence us into thinking that just because one thing went wrong, everything else is gonna go wrong. But the truth is, even if there are 99 bad things that happen in a day, you have the power to focus on the one good thing that's happening and to stay optimistic. So you are in control, and sometimes just realizing that, even with small things like when you're drawing and something goes wrong, just reminding yourself very gently that you are in control. You can choose to either be disappointed by the bad thing that's happened, or you could choose to learn from it and just move on and enjoy the rest of the process. Just remember that you are in control, and when you remember that, it is so much easier to have that sense of autonomy over everything that's happening. And now, bringing that entire speech back to this situation, what I'm trying to say was, for example, I either had the choice to keep on worrying about how the nose and the mouth looked. I could have just kept on erasing it. I could have become frustrated by it. I could have worked on this entire drawing while consciously worrying about the fact that the nose and the mouth do not look good, they do not look perfect, and because of that, this entire drawing is going to be ruined. Or I could actually not worry too much about it, because it is just one tiny detail, and what matters is that this drawing is fun. Working on this drawing is going to be enjoyable for me. It's going to be a learning experience. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to learn. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to make a wonderful drawing, and I'm going to get to share it with you wonderful people. And that's exactly what I did. Choose the positive mindset. It definitely helps. And you know what the great thing about this was? By not worrying about that one tiny problem, I got to work on this drawing and have a great time, But in addition to that, at the very end, I was actually happy with the way that the face turned out. I was happy with the way that the nose looked and how the mouth looked, and then I realized that I made the right choice. By not worrying, everything turned out well. So yeah, that's just a little something. Anyways, what I did for this drawing was, after I lightened the sketch, I went in with my Hoo-Hoo markers to kind of just add like that nice base color. And then I went in with my pencils to add that shading. And finally, I went in with an acrylic white pen to add that shiny gloss all over the face and all over the character's body. Initially, I was super worried that it wouldn't look good, but after a while, it kind of looks good. Like when you squint your eyes, you can kind of see that the character has a glossy finish. I also tried to add some gray shading underneath the gloss to kind of make it pop and give it that 3D effect. Now, one thing that I feel like I could have done better is to add some more shadows, because I feel like if I had added more shading on the face, for example, the highlights and shiny parts would have popped more. But still, I'm pretty happy with the way this drawing turned out. And stay until the end for the grand reveal. And now let's move on to the second drawing of today's video. Now, for our little puppy here, as you can tell, he has a matte finish to him, which is the opposite of our first figurine. So to shake things up, yet again, I wanted to make this drawing look super flat and with like a 2D art style. So I wanted to just use basic colors, minimal shading, very subtle line art, and kind of just things like that. So to start off this drawing, the very first thing I did was I grabbed my pencil and roughly marked out the shapes, just so I could see where the character would be placed on the page. Once I was happy with that, step number 2 was to use my pencil to make everything look super defined so I could see where I would be coloring. And then step number 3 was for me to decide how I would add the present box. So I didn't want to draw the character sitting in the present box because I felt like that would kind of cover up his adorable little paws and also some of the hat as well. So instead, I decided to add a box behind the character to kind of symbolize the present box. And this was also just super easy. I went ahead and drew a square behind the character, then I sketched in a burrow similar to the shape of the burrow in the box, and then I added a line around the square just for some visual interest. And just like that, my sketch is officially complete. What do you think? I think it looks so adorable, but we are going to have to lighten it so that we can go ahead and do the coloring on top. By the way, we are so close to the end of this video, and if you've managed to watch all this way without skipping or fast forwarding, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. If you'd like to let me know, then feel free to comment this emoji down below. Thank you so much once again. You are amazing. And now let's jump back to our drawing process. So, do you know that I gave myself a time limit of 1 hour to work on each of these drawings, because I felt like that would be the perfect amount of time. As it turns out, for the very first drawing, I ended up taking 2 hours, which is double the amount of time I gave myself, but also not too bad because it was a different style and I was trying to learn as I went, so I think it was okay. But for this second drawing, the one that I'm working on right now, somehow I also took 2 hours to work on this drawing as well, which I cannot understand how I spent 2 hours on it, because it was so simple and so easy. I got the sketch done in 15 minutes. The rest of the process is what took me the remaining hour and 45 minutes, and I still don't know how that happened, but at the same time, it was kind of fun. Still, I have no idea where the time went. Time is just flying by so quickly. And on that note, how is it already spring? I feel like winter just started, but are you telling me winter is done and now we're already in spring? I can't believe that. I love spring, except for the allergies that everyone gets during spring. Spring marks the beginning of the warm seasons, and I love that because personally I'm a summer person and I wait all year for summer to happen, and now that spring is finally here, I am so excited for summer to come. I think it's so cool how this drawing also kind of gives off summer vibes because of how vibrant and colorful it is. It's a good match. Anyways, with the drawing, I found that the color that I used initially for the fur was a little more natural looking than I would have liked. So instead, to make it look more cartoony and more bright and vibrant to kind of match the actual character on the left, I went in with my Ohuhu Nahuku markers and I found the perfect shade of yellow and I love the way it looks. As for the face, I know it doesn't look like much right now, but trust the process, because once I grabbed out my pencils and added in those details, the way the drawing transformed is incredible, because it went from looking like some kind of blob to now an adorable puppy wearing a cute kitten hat. So my pencils really helped me to bring this drawing together. I used the pencils to draw in the face like you just saw, but also to add the blush and to add some soft line art along the edges of the drawing. I tried to match the line art color with the color of the section I was outlining, as you can see with the little banner here, and also his outfit and his fur and the pink border as well. Everything looked so cool. I love this type of style, and I'm so happy that today I managed to try out 2 different types of styles. And we are almost done with this drawing. There's just 2 more things left to do. The very first thing is to pick a sticker from this assortment of stickers to add to the corner of my page. And I decided to go with the one that's got like little wings, because I thought the blue really matched with the blue bow on the other side too. And now the very last step to finalize this drawing is to, of course, go ahead and sign it off. And just to my luck, the pen I was trying to use was not working on me. So annoying. But anyways, I managed to go back in with a second pen and kind of fix that up. And with that, it is time for the grand reveal. Check it out. I love the way these drawings turned out. I love that it's different to my ordinary. I love that I got to try something new. I also love the unboxing part. I feel like that's pretty obvious by now. But working on these drawings, both with different style, both with different subjects than usual, was super fun. And overall, I would rate the process 10 out of 10. The results don't even matter to me. The process was what was amazing, and that's what I would consider. So here's the reference image and the drawing side by side. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And here's our second drawing as well. This one is just so cheerful and happy and adorable. I think it looks so cute. And the 2D style is something that I'm definitely starting to love as well. Just the simplicity of it and just how cool it looks, especially with the pencil and the acrylic paint pen. I'm really glad that I took this opportunity to step out of my comfort zone, try something different, but also fun at the same time. Here's another side by side of our reference and the drawing. Anyways, Magical Sparks, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know which drawing was your favorite in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a fabulous day. Stay awesome as always, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Bye!